Have you ever noticed how some people seem to stay calm when life gets difficult? They face rejection. They experience failure. They deal with uncertainty. They have bad days. But somehow, they keep moving forward. Does that mean they never feel afraid, stressed, or disappointed? Of course not. Being mentally strong doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you learn how to handle your struggles without allowing them to control your entire life. Mental strength isn't something you're simply born with. It is something you can develop. Just like your body becomes stronger through regular training, your mind can become stronger through repeated habits and choices. The way you respond to problems today can shape the way you respond to problems tomorrow. And the good news is, you don't have to change your entire life overnight. You can start with small habits. So today, let's look at 10 habits that can help you become mentally stronger, more resilient, and more confident in yourself. Let's begin. Habit number 1, stop overthinking everything. One of the biggest enemies of mental strength is overthinking. You replay conversations in your head. You imagine everything that could go wrong. You think about decisions you made yesterday. And sometimes, you spend hours thinking about problems that haven't even happened yet. The problem is that overthinking often feels like you're solving something, but thinking about the same problem again and again doesn't always lead to a solution. Sometimes, it only creates more anxiety. Mentally strong people learn to recognize when thinking becomes unproductive. They ask themselves, can I actually do something about this? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, accept that some things are outside your control. You don't need to have every answer immediately. You don't need to predict every possible outcome. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is stop arguing with your thoughts and return to the present moment. When you catch yourself overthinking, take a breath and ask, what is one useful thing I can do right now? Then do that one thing. You may not be able to control everything that happens, but you can control your next step. And sometimes, that's enough. Habit number 2, control your reactions. Life will always give you things you didn't expect. Someone might say something that hurts you. A plan might fail. Someone might disappoint you. You might face an unexpected problem. You can't control every situation, but you can practice controlling how you respond. There is a small space between what happens and what you do next. That space is where your power is. Imagine someone sends you an angry message. Your first instinct might be to immediately respond with anger. But what if you paused? What if you took a few seconds to breathe? What if you waited before replying? The situation hasn't changed, but your response has. Mental strength isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about learning not to let every emotion make your decisions for you. You can feel angry without acting aggressively. You can feel nervous and still take action. You can feel disappointed and still continue. Your emotions are real, but they don't have to be your boss. The next time something triggers you, remember, pause, breathe, think, then respond. That small habit can completely change the way you handle difficult situations. Habit number 3, do things even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is useful, but motivation is unreliable. Some mornings, you'll wake up feeling energetic. Other mornings, you won't want to do anything. If you only work toward your goals when you feel motivated, your progress will always depend on your mood. Mental strength comes from learning to take action even when motivation isn't there. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to work endlessly. It means keeping small promises to yourself. If you plan to study for 30 minutes, start with 5. If you plan to exercise, start with a short walk. If you have an important task you've been avoiding, work on it for just 10 minutes. The goal is to prove something to yourself. I can take action even when I don't feel ready. Every time you do what you said you would do, you build trust in yourself. And self-trust is powerful, because when you trust yourself, you don't need to constantly wait for motivation. You know that even on difficult days, you can still take the next step. Habit number 4, stop seeking everyone's approval. One of the fastest ways to lose your peace is to constantly worrying about what everyone else thinks of you. You want everyone to like you. You want everyone to agree with your choices. You worrying about being judged. But here's something you need to understand. You cannot make everyone happy. No matter what you do, someone will disagree. Someone may misunderstand you. Someone may criticize your choices. And that's okay. Mental strength means learning that your life cannot be controlled by everyone's opinions. This doesn't mean you should ignore all advice. Listen to people you trust. Learn from constructive criticism. But don't let every random opinion determine your self-worth. Ask yourself, am I making this choice because it's right for me? Or because I'm afraid of what someone else will think? You don't need permission to grow. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. Sometimes, becoming mentally stronger means becoming comfortable with being misunderstood. Your life is yours, and you are responsible for choosing the direction you want to take. Habit number 5, accept what you cannot control. Imagine trying to control the weather. You can complain about the rain. You can become angry at the clouds. You can wish the sun would appear, but none of that changes the weather. The same is true in life. You cannot control what other people think. You cannot control the past. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control every unexpected event, but you can control your preparation. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control what you do next. Mentally strong people learn to separate these two things, what I can control and what I cannot control. When you focus your energy on things outside your control, you become exhausted. But when you focus on what you can influence, you become more effective. So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, take action. If it isn't, practice acceptance and redirect your energy. You don't need to control everything to move forward. You only need to focus on what you can do today. Habit number 6, get comfortable with being alone. In a world full of notifications, messages, videos, and constant entertainment, being alone can feel uncomfortable. The moment there's silence, many people immediately reach for their phones. But learning to spend time alone can help you understand yourself better. You can use that time to think, to read, to walk, to journal, to simply sit quietly. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. There is a difference. Loneliness is the feeling that you lack connection. Solitude is choosing to spend some time with yourself. And learning to enjoy your own company can make you less dependent on constant external validation. When you're comfortable being alone, you begin to understand your own thoughts. You discover what you actually enjoy. You learn what matters to you. You become less afraid of silence. So try spending a few minutes every day without your phone. Go for a walk, sit somewhere peaceful, read a book, or simply do nothing. At first, your mind may feel restless. That's normal. But over time, you may discover something important. You can actually enjoy your own company. And that's a powerful form of independence. Habit number 7, keep promises you make to yourself. Think about this. When you repeatedly tell yourself, tomorrow I'll start, tomorrow I'll study, tomorrow I'll exercise, tomorrow I'll change, but tomorrow keeps coming, and nothing changes. Eventually, you stop trusting yourself. That's why keeping small promises to yourself matters. Don't make huge promises you can't maintain. Start small. If you say you're going to read 5 pages, read 5 pages. If you say you're going to clean your room, do it. If you say you're going to spend 20 minutes learning something, show up. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're building evidence that you can trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, confidence begins to grow. You don't need to become perfect. You just need to become more consistent. Because mental strength isn't built by making big promises. It's built by keeping small ones, again and again, day after day. Habit number 8, learn from failure instead of fearing it. Failure can feel painful. You work hard. You try something. And it doesn't work. So what do many people do? They stop trying. They decide that failure means they're not good enough. But failure doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be information. Imagine you're trying to learn something new. If you make a mistake, you now know one way that didn't work. You can adjust. You can learn. You can try again. Mentally strong people don't necessarily fail less. They learn how to recover faster. Instead of asking, why am I such a failure? Ask, what can this experience teach me? Maybe you need a different strategy. Maybe you need more practice. Maybe you need help. Maybe you need to change your approach. Failure doesn't define your identity. It is simply one event in your journey. Don't let one bad result convince you that you cannot improve. You are allowed to start again. And sometimes, starting again is where real strength is built. Habit number 9, protect your time and energy. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. And if you give all of it away to distractions, and necessary arguments, and things that don't matter, you won't have much left for the things that actually do. Mentally strong people learn to set boundaries. They learn to say no. They don't feel obligated to respond to every message immediately. They don't spend hours arguing with people online. They don't constantly compare their progress with everyone else. They understand that protecting your peace is important. Ask yourself, where is my energy going every day? Is it going toward your goals, your health, your relationships, your learning? Or is most of it disappearing into endless scrolling and worrying about things you can't control? You don't have to remove every distraction from your life. Just become more intentional. Protect your attention. Protect your time. Protect your energy. Because what you repeatedly give your attention to eventually shapes your life. Habit number 10. Use discipline over temporary comfort. This may be the most important habit of all. Your brain naturally wants comfort. It wants the easy option. It wants to avoid difficult tasks. And sometimes, choosing comfort is completely fine. You need rest. You need breaks. You need time to relax. But if you always choose what feels easiest in the moment, you may eventually become trapped by your own habits. Mental strength comes from learning to choose what is good for your future, even when something else feels easier right now. Studying instead of endlessly scrolling, finishing your work before relaxing, going for a walk instead of staying in bed all day, having an important conversation instead of avoiding it, starting the project instead of waiting for the perfect moment. These choices may seem small, but every time you choose discipline over temporary comfort, you're building a stronger version of yourself. You are teaching your brain, I can do difficult things. And the more evidence you collect, the more you begin to believe it. Discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about caring enough about your future to make better choices today. Becoming mentally stronger doesn't happen in one day. It's not about waking up tomorrow and suddenly becoming fearless. You will still have difficult days. You will still make mistakes. You will still feel nervous. You will still experience disappointment. That's part of being human. Mental strength doesn't mean you never fall. It means you learn how to get back up. It means you stop expecting life to always be easy and start becoming someone who can handle difficult moments with more patience, courage, and self-control. So don't try to change all 10 habits at once. Choose one. Maybe today, you stop overthinking. Maybe you start keeping one small promise to yourself. Maybe you finally take action on something you've been avoiding. Start small, because every small decision is a vote for the person you're becoming. And one day, you may look back and realize you didn't become stronger because of one huge moment. You became stronger because of thousands of small choices. The choice to keep going. The choice to try again. The choice to stay calm. The choice to protect your peace. The choice to believe that you can improve. So remember, you don't have to control everything. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward. Because mental strength isn't about never struggling. It's about learning that even when life gets difficult, you are capable of facing the next step. Start today. Take one small step, and then take another. Because the strongest version of you isn't created overnight. It's built, one choice at a time.